putting the Leo and Leopard. Okay, so first things first, I do want to apologize for the delay in content. For anybody that comes into the videos, likes them, views them, everything else, I do appreciate every bit of that. And it wasn't that I was trying to ignore the YouTube side of what I'm doing, just holidays are real. Mine and my son's birthday, since we shared the same birthday, is 3 weeks after Christmas. And then there was the household getting under the weather, so there was a good bit going on. I'm back to try and get more content out, at least the pace that I do, which is 1 to 2 videos a week. And we are still doing a lot of the card game stuff, as well as the gauntlet and everything else, over on Twitch live. But that being said, let's get into this deck profile. So this is not a fully traditional Leomon deck, as told by the thumbnail. It's just a fun little deck. The pieces work and help support the top end to do what they want to do. The top end, for the most part, does struggle a little bit. I'm not going to lie about that, because you don't get any of the inheritables that are specifically for Leo. But it's still a fun deck that does what it does. So to kick things off, the egg of choice for this is the Freemon, since you will be using it to draw cards when you attack with the Leo, which is most of your deck. So we have that. You can also play the Leomon that came out of the X5 that has the DP buff when suspended. Now, going into our first level 3s, we're playing the BT13 Solomon. It has the inheritable, while this Digimon has Beast, Animal, or Sovereign, other than Sea Animal in one of its traits, or the Royal Knight trait gets 2000 DP. That does come up since you are a swinging deck. And then on play, flip 3, add 1 card with the Beast, Animal, or Sovereign, other than Sea Animal in one of its traits, and 1 Digimon card with Royal Knight trait among them. So this just tutors things. If you play this and you flip Leo Leopardmon, you get both of them, which is really nice. And then for the next one, I'm going to butcher this name because I've never been able to pronounce it right. Leolo. It can evo for a 0 onto the Freemon, which, good to keep turn, or you can choke, since it does have the 1 cost evo, onto a green. But the on play, look through your security stack, grab a Leo, and then recover 1. It gives you important knowledge of your security stack. That way, okay, how many of these can I play out? What all can I do with them? Or is it better to just use them for raising in the back? And then the inheritable of on deletion gives something negative 2000. That can stack up with the other on deletions for cards that'll show up later, or to remove lower end opposing Digimon. And then the final level 3, because I still need to fit Pomumon into here, it's a great card, especially with the way the game is right now, is for Electmon. Again, you can do the same thing, evo for 0 or evo for 1 onto the Freemon if you want to choke a little bit. And then its inheritable is on deletion, Digivolve 1, and then its on play is flip 5, grab a Leo. Just real quick, that is really good to just dig down 5 cards. You're looking through a lot with that, but that on deletion is so good right now. For example, if you're playing against Fenry, if they delete a stack that has that on deletion, when they go to do their swing, which would be typically the second swing, they'll get to unsuspend, but most likely it's going to be your turn, since they typically have it on your turn when that's going on anyways, because of the Digivolve. Next, going into our level 4s, we're playing 8, so to start them off, we have Leomon, has the same inheritable as Electmon, the on deletion, the Digivolve 1, and then it's going to have the same effect as Leah, or when attacking, you may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Leomon in its name by with a reduced cost of 1. And then Leah, since we've already got it here, has on deletion, -2 again. So you get to stack so many different great effects. Digivolve and negative DPs are very, very strong. Now to go into our level 5s. playing 4 of the EX5 Leomon. Most of this deck is out of EX5 to be fair, so it's got Fortitude, it will evo onto a Leomon, which is all your level 4s anyways, for a cost of 3. On play, when Digivolving, which can trigger because of the Fortitude, return one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less to the bottom of the deck. So if you've got Leolo and Leah under this, it deletes, you get to play it out. After Digivolving to bounce something to the bottom, it deletes, you give something negative 4k and then bounce it to the bottom again. And then its inheritable is Piercing. When it is a Leomon, it doesn't come up a whole lot on the top end, but it still does, which is important. And then the other level 5 we're playing is Panjamon, just to be able to cheat out our tamers. It also, with its inheritable, does not require it to be a Leo, so with Leopardmon effects, you get to play something out, give it rush, swing. You can keep aggression going and everything else. Just a great card to keep pace, tempo, and resources going. Now to go into the level 6s, we'll start with the one of Leos that we were playing. We were playing one each of Boncho and Heavy Leo. These are both phenomenal cards, especially Heavy Leo. Shout out to Ryan for what you did at Nats with Heavy Leo. That being said, Heavy Leo's got Fortitude. When Digivolving on deletion, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then return one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or lower to the bottom of the deck, and then end of attack once per turn, return one of your opponent's 4000 DP or less Digimon to the bottom of the deck. If you don't, unsuspend this Digimon. So just good board control, tempo control, everything else with it, but it's giving you multi-swings as well. It can evo onto your champion, or not your champions, your ultimates, your level 5s for a reduced cost, as well as gain the effects from Leomon to be swinging with Piercing. And then Boncho Leomon is just a good removal piece in my opinion. It's got an on play, you can reduce the cost. If there's 6 or fewer cards in both players' security, you reduce it by 5. So play a level 6 for a cost of 7. Have the on play to suspend something, which is going to trigger the all turns to give something security attack minus and negative 4, which might be enough to kill something, or just set it up to protect yourself. And then for our Leopardmons, though, playing 3 of the BT13 Leopardmon. When Digivolving main once per turn, you may play 1 green or Royal Knight trade Digimon card from your hand for the cost. When it would be played by this effect, reduce the cost by 4. So everybody is pretty familiar with this, with how it works in Royal Knight. It operates the exact same, except you get to keep turn in a lot of cases, or play things out for a much lower cost. Unless you were, obviously stacking from playing this and purge the Royal Knights and then going in to do your thing for a much reduced cost. And then all turns, when another Digimon is played that is green or Royal Knight, they all gain blockers, so you can play things out. If you have the Panja, give it rush, swing. If you don't, you can set up some blockers, or just build another stack to climb with. And then what is Leopardmon without his beast mode? For some more aggression, it's going to evolve into a Leopardmon for 1. That's probably the one that you really want to be doing, since it does have the end of turn, trash the top card of this Digimon and unsuspend all of your Digimon, which is great to set up your blocker turns, but you would be going down to a level 5, which can be dangerous in some cases. But anyways, when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon until the end of your opponent's turn. One of your opponent's Digimon doesn't unsuspend. And then when attacking by suspending one of your other Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. So with the ability to play things off of Leopardmon, go into this, swing, unsuspend, swing. You have that capability to just get a bunch of multi-attacks in at a safe for DP value. And then one of the newer additions for Leopardmon, Leopardmon X, which is also going to evo onto a level 6 Leopardmon. without the X antibody trait for 1, so it can go on to the regular, it can go on to the beast mode. When Digivolving, main, once per turn, you may play 1 green Digimon card from your hand with the play cost reduced by 4. If a card with Leopardmon is in its name, or X antibodies in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, further reduced by 3. So getting to play something for a cost reduction of 7 is amazing. And then your turn, once per turn, when one of your Digimon is played, you may return one of your opponent's 5000 DP or lower Digimon to the hand. For each of your other Digimon, add 3000 to the maximum DP this can choose. So it's just another removal piece. It's a good tempo piece. Put more guys out into play, which can work great if you have another stack with, say, Leopardmon Beast Mode. So for level 7s, there's a lot that you can run. I'm actually opting to play a Imperial Digimon Paladin mode. It can Evo, and this deck will never be able to reduce the cost like you would normally, or would want to do, I should say. But when Digivolving, when attacking, you may return 1 2-colored card from the Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck to trash all of the Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then return all of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck. So, against a Fenrir matchup, for example, not a lot of things will have sources because of how it operates. If you say, you know, one of your stacks got deleted, you've still got another stack that you're able to climb up into this. Oh, cool. So when my guy got deleted, I'll go ahead and delete your de-digivolve your Fenrir. So then when you go into, it's now your turn, you go into this guy, bottom deck the sources, and then just bottom deck that entire board. Or not, yeah. And you have so many targets in here. The level 4s outside of Sala, I'm sorry, level 3s outside of Sala, all the level 4s, half of your level 5s, 2 of your level 6s. You have so many options. I feel it's really good. This deck though can run pretty much every level 7 outside of Omnimons for the most part. You can run Omnimon Merciful obviously, but you also have access to Quartzmon, you have access to Shine Ruin, you have access to Death X via, if you needed to Evo into them, because of Heavy Leo and Bancho Leomon being multicolor. Alright, now, to get into the options, it's pretty straightforward. 4 green memory boost, 4 agility training. We're just trying to dig, find pieces, Evo for cheap, make our plays, and everything else. So that's exactly what they're for. This can find Digimon tamers, it can grab each other to keep searching, and then obviously you get the memory from the memory boost to go with the cost reduction evolution of agility training. 1 digs 4, 1 digs 2, but the one that digs 2 does find everything. And to round the deck off, 2 Mimi, 3 Taiga. Mimi is a memory setter that's going to let you be able to hatch additional eggs, or maybe you already have a rookie in the back, you've done all your swings, your opponent has no security, no blockers, so you just go, cool, let me just go ahead and suspend her, push out this egg, and swing for game. And then Taiga gives all of your Digimon 1000 DP on your turn, which does come up to help you get over number thresholds. And then when one of your green Digimon would Digivolve into a level 5 or higher, suspend it to reduce the cost by 1. So just more cost reduction. If you, for example, had a Taiga out when you go to swing with a Leomon or a Leomon, you would swing, Evo, reduce the cost by 1, reduce the cost by another 1, and now you've gone from a level 4 to a level 5 for cost of 1 without having to use a boost or a training. So that is the profile, but let's go over to the shuffle and see how it actually functions. Okay, now it's time for the shuffle part of the video. Let's get this test shuffle to see how the deck actually functions, operates, and all that. A lot of your hands are pretty good to keep because there's just so much searching between the rookies, the trainings, the mem boost. It all just kind of falls into place. Bricking is still a thing that can happen in any game, any deck, though. Alright. So as always, we will do the keep and the mulligan. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna assume this hand was kept. And it's actually not that bad. We got a training, we got a mem boost, we got a Leah, we got an Elec and a Sala. That's honestly really good. We did forget to do this part though. So if we rolled a 6, our opponent rolls a 4, we're gonna be on the play. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so we hatch that Fremon. We'll go ahead, because we need to find some parts and everything. We'll do the safer play at the moment and Evo into a Leomon back here. So our card we drew is an Leomon, so we've got 3 different options that we can go with. I'm sorry, 4 different options. So we can go with either any of these. Let's go ahead and run the Sala out though, just in case we hit the hits, but also it's not the most important rookie. It is very good with the inheritable, but we're gonna whiff, we're not gonna whiff on that though. So we've got a Mega now in hand. We got a level 6, now we just gotta find the rest of the parts. So we gave our opponent 3, you know, let's say they do their whole thing, we get past it just 2. So we draw, we've got a Panja. At this point, it is kind of a tough one. With Panja, you definitely want to be doing it when you have a Tamer in hand. We could probably take some turns though to just do some safe things. So we swing with the Sala. Most likely it'll die on security. And then we go with the agility training. Flip agility training, flip Taiga. We're going to go ahead and take the Taiga and get set up for next turn by Evoing into our Laya, since it does count as Leo. Draw per turn is a Leomon. Alright, it's still pretty early, so let's say put in that 2, they check 1, we'll see even say they check 2. That Leopard's probably going to take whatever ran into it early on, if it doesn't have jamming or something like that out. So we get passed back, let's say we get passed back to 2 again, cool, awesome, yay. So we promote out now. This time we're going to immediately go on the offensive. We're going to swing, we're going to draw a card from free since this is a Leo in name. So we've got our beast mode ready to go for that combo. Now we have our Leo effect waiting to go off, which we did hit a second Panja. So we're going to go into Panja for 2. Draw a card. Paladin mode. Not bad to have later. Off that, we'll go ahead and drop our Taiga. So we're not looking too bad. Let's assume that it lives in security check, which if it does, awesome, because then we can go ahead and pop the agility training, use the Taiga, and Evo into our Bancho Leomon for 1. Or I'm sorry, for free. Draw a card, there's a Grapple Leomon, so we've got some things waiting to build. So off our Bancho Leo, we're going to suspend something, and then depending on the situation, we can either kill something or we can make something smaller with a security attack minus. And then we'll go ahead and pass turn by going into an Elec over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And unfortunately, that is a full whiff on the Elec, which can happen. But we've got a few different things that we can set up and do. You know, our Bancho is a really good stall and defensive piece. If it comes back around to us where, you know, we're at this, our opponent's got something nasty set up, we can potentially swing, do a few things there. But we've always got the ability to go into Taiga, to go into our Imperial. Imperial is great in this because there's so many cards that interact with its effect. Now, let's see what would happen if we didn't keep this hand and mulligan. With the rest of the security being Mimi Taiga and a Grapple Leomon, we be looking really good, I feel. Let's get a good shuffle, since there was a lot of rookies that went to the bottom from that. Nope, that top didn't change, so let's go ahead and do that. And obviously, opponent should always cut. So this was a mulligan. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so we've got Green Mem, Grap, Elect, Green Mem. Leolo's still a really good. You've got so much searching in this deck. You can find your parts, find your pieces. You've got the lower end ones to find your early game ones. So, in this scenario, we were on the play. I feel like I would Evo Elect in the back, go ahead and draw a card. That card is a Bancho Leo. I want to know what's in security. So we'll go ahead and pass our opponent over to 3, playing Leolo. I will never get that name right. We're going to take a look at security. So we know that there's a Taiga in here, there's a Grap Leo in here, a Sala, and a Agility Training now. We know that we can safely take this one, so that we now have a level 4. And then we recover 1. Go ahead and shuffle that up real quick. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we know now in this scenario that there's at least a Grap Leomon in here. So if we see another one of these, we can safely play it out if the Grap isn't checked to grab it. But our opponent, they're going to do their thing. Let's say we actually get past the 1 this time. So we got more searching, more things we can do. We'll go ahead and we'll play the choke game as well. We'll go over to a Leola to draw into a Leopardmon, which is actually pretty good for what we want to do. Opponent, they pass us over to 2. Yay, cool. We promote out. We draw. We've hit another Grap Leo. So we're good for a few different things. So we would swing, we will trigger to draw a card from that free. So we're going to have another level 4 ready to go. We trigger the effect, we go into a Grap Leo for 2, draw a card, and now we get to bottom deck something. We have Fortitude online. But if we don't want to do the Fortitude, depending on what state we are in right now, if we want to play like a little bit of a chokey game, we can do that. But we're here to play Leo, and the first part of Leopard is Leo, so we Evo, draw a card, Solomon. We'll actually go ahead and play out that Solomon, triggering to have these guys as blockers now. We can play the Sala for free, essentially. Since this would reduce the cost by 4, we're going to flip 1, flip 2, flip 3. We've only got 1 target out of those, so we'll go ahead and take that shiny Panja. And we've got a pretty stacked hand, some blockers. The game could swing in either way though, and if it does, we do have some defensive pieces that we can do, a couple different options we can do. Getting out the training and the boost, the double boost early probably would have been nice, but it is what it is. But this is essentially how the deck forms and functions. You use the Leo pieces to climb the line, play out Tamers with the Panja, have aggression and safety with Grab, which also gives piercing if you go into one of the higher ends that is not Leopardmon. It's a fun deck. The Leopard, I like playing with it, but Leo itself is probably going to be the better option to go with. That all being said, if you like the profile, please leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Leave a comment where I can improve, what can be better. I'm all for growth and criticism, whether it be positive criticism or unpositive criticism. If you want to come hang out, we are still doing the Gauntlet, working through World 3 right now, making very good progress. We also are playing Tekken every now and then, still playing a lot of the RPGs and everything else, and of course doing a whole lot of card game content on the channel over on Twitch. That said, again, I apologize for the delay in content. Life is life and the holidays are holidays, especially when you and your son have a birthday shared on the same day, 3 weeks after a major holiday. But take care, everybody.